Hey, welcome back to Bitcoin is Local. This is a Choice App production covering Bitcoin across America. Today we're in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Sioux Falls is in the very southeastern part of the state, and the greater Sioux Falls area has a population of a little over 200,000 people, has 2 major universities and 2 major hospitals. And the thing that we're focused on mostly in this episode is for those 200,000 people, there's over 80 banks and over 20 credit unions with their headquarters here. So we're gonna explore and see what's going on with Bitcoin here. All right, here we are in downtown Sioux Falls. The parking meter is coins only, so we need to find a bank. Heritage Bank, Security National Bank, chiseled in stone. The Treasury, is that a bar? I think that's a bar. US Bank, Liberty National Bank. There's Wells Fargo, you've all heard of that one. One America Bank. There's Bank Midwest, First Bank and Trust, First Dakota, First National Bank, American Bank and Trust.
Frontier Bank, we're celebrating our 90th year this year, so we were chartered in 1932. We really believe in the community bank model where you're able to really focus on your local community and serve people that you see at church, see at the school, see downtown at a business meeting. You really get to know the people that you serve.
Bitcoin says, trust but verify, or even don't trust, verify. But for the people who are not there yet, or who may never be there, they need a location of trust. This bank has made it, and we're trying to leverage that trust in order to legitimize Bitcoin in the eyes of the people who might not trust Bitcoin itself.
Why did Frontier Bank start looking at Bitcoin?
The bank CEO said that he was at a conference for bank CEOs, and everybody was talking about it. And he realized at that point that this is going to happen.
That really was an eye-opener for me that other bankers were really interested in this. So about a year ago, as a company, we started analyzing it and thinking about it.
We're going to figure out what we need to do. We're going to figure out who we need to partner with. Well, we can't do this ourselves. We need to hire somebody to run it.
We hired Andy. Andy's been doing what we call Bitcoin in Bites. We've done lunch and learns before, Brian, and usually we get 5 or 6 people to show up and we're talking about mortgages or we're talking about retirement or whatever it is. We're getting 30 or 40 people per session to come and listen to presentations, and I think a lot of people are pretty excited to get started. These low interest rates are really hurting savers. This is just another opportunity for somebody to get exposure to something that's a savings product.
We are fully committed to the project, and we are putting our name out there as, if you want to talk to a real person in real life, you'd come to Frontier Bank. I'm pretty sure there are other institutions in the area that are looking at it, but they have not been nearly as overt. Like, we are sponsoring a major conference. Every single branch has a gigantic flyer about Bitcoin Day. On the other side, it's a big flyer about our Bitcoin in Bites.
South Dakota designed its trust laws to attract trust business. And so this is an ideal place to develop a bank or a trust company or a trust. You can't have an IRA and custody the assets yourself. So you need a custodian. And so that custodian can be either a bank, and Kingdom Trust Company as a trust company is considered a bank for those purposes. Now, the way the industry grew up, it grew up with IRAs initially being offered by banks and brokerages, and they stick to their knitting, the things that are easy for them, stocks, bonds, mutual funds. Other people wanted to invest in other sorts of things, so custodians like Kingdom grew into that niche. What most people don't know is that we've been in the Bitcoin business since 2013. We had clients come to us and say, I want to put mining equipment in my IRA. Can I do that? And the answer, of course, is yes. You can absolutely do that. And then you started getting people who wanted to actually hold Bitcoin and other digital assets. And it's just grown from there.
All right, dude, cheers. Here's the Sioux Falls Bitcoin.
Yeah. Sioux Falls Bitcoin Meetup started early 2022. We have around 20 people coming now, and we're starting to advance forward in education and having presentations at the meetings. So this past meeting, I just presented Bitcoin nodes, explaining to people what nodes even are.
What do you hope to see happen among the Bitcoin community in South Dakota?
I tell you, the biggest thing is I would love to see companies start accepting Bitcoin on the local level. So, I mean, hey, wood grain, we come here a lot. Even schools start teaching it, and that's what I'm focusing on.
currency has evolved over time from bartering, to gold coins that we traded, to shekels in biblical times, to now digital currency, and it's just the next evolution. So I'm excited about how Sioux Falls and how local governments really can look at using this as part of our service delivery, part of our monetary system within a city. Sioux Falls is really ripe for financial disruption. We're always looking for the next thing in finance. So that's why we talk about Bitcoin, the future of Bitcoin, the future of that as an asset in people's portfolio. I think Sioux Falls has an opportunity to be somewhat of a leader in that space. We have a huge cybersecurity campus that's being built right now in partnership with a university and the state. Cybersecurity, Bitcoin, crypto, there's a logical fit between all those. So it's a growing tech scene in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and I think Bitcoin, crypto is a logical fit within that in the future of our economy.
Can you give us any insight on like the growth of Sioux Falls?
Yeah, last year we had a record population growth. We typically grow at about that 2.5–3% per year. We were more like 4 to 5% last year. A lot of people are moving to Sioux Falls, South Dakota for a few reasons. One, the cost of living is very low. Second, it's a low tax, low regulatory climate. So for companies looking to come here, miners looking to come here, investors looking to come here, this is a great place to hang a shingle and do that. So the pandemic brought a lot of people to Sioux Falls, South Dakota as a place where they knew they could operate their business, they could live their life, they could have their kids in school. There was no mandates, and so that has really helped explode the state and really Sioux Falls over the last couple of years, and I really see that continuing over the next 3 or 4 years as well.
So I'm going to talk to you about the case for holding Bitcoin as your base money today. I'm telling you, like for the last 4 months, like I haven't held dollars on the asset side of my balance sheet because a dollar to me is no longer an asset. Like I'm going to use it on credit and treat it how it is. Bitcoin is money, dollars are credit. So I'm going to use credit dollars at the counterparties that request them, and I'm going to hold my base money that I prefer that works for me and my family. My income comes in, and then I pay off the dollars that I spent on credit. So all Get on Zero is talking about, all I'm talking about of like my super aggressive timeline of like Bitcoin as base money, Bitcoin's base money here today if you want it to be.
If you go back to sort of the beginning of Bitcoin, it's be your own bank. But there's still ways in which companies need bank accounts to conduct business. There's ways in which Bitcoin and banks can actually collaborate, and I think we're starting to see a lot more of that. There's also banks here in the space that are exploring the ability to see Bitcoin balances and your checking account balance all in one.
We have a very rare opportunity to kind of leapfrog and be a very big financial hub. I know we are already for trusts, but we can also expand that into the Bitcoin space even further.
This is a place that's moving forward, and this is a moving forward thing. You know, Bitcoin is definitely a moving forward thing.
Frontier Bank is trying to get ahead of this so that we can figure out what's going on. Interchange fees, the Strike API, our interchange fees are going away. It's just a matter of when. So how do we continue to serve our customers into this new future? And so I think that is the inevitability where every bank will eventually come to the realization of we are either going to close our doors or we're going to have to figure out what this is.
All right, and that's a wrap on our trip to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, covering Bitcoin across America. Thank you so much to all of you that have been watching and following us from city to city. Sioux Falls was just very fun and very good. It might be the smallest town we've covered so far with that like just over 200,000 population, but enough banks to service everyone as we saw throughout the episode. So for real, thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If there's something going on with Bitcoin in your town that you think is worth covering, we definitely want to see it. So we will catch you on the next one. Does your money have a plan? Huh.